Hey there, War Dog. This is kind of what I try and do with my players. So I'm kind of obviously going through the motions with you guys. I mean, looking at the information you sent is obviously absolutely fantastic. So I'm sure there's nothing really much we're going to be able to do here, but it's more the principle for the guys that aren't as strong as you. So first thing I'd observe on yourself is 73% attack. So maybe there's some opportunities there. But I mean, again, I'd settle for 73 and 53%. Obviously, defence is absolutely fantastic again. So we're doing really, really well there. Obviously, riflemen 10, machine guns 5, mortarmen 6. So possibly, if you've got a chance to upgrade mortarmen, that might be something to look at. I know you've got them in your defence, which is one of my favourites. So that's the information I'm looking for, really. Is obviously you've got mortarmen in your defence here, so you've actually got exactly what I would do there. You've got obviously them kicking out at 8 seconds, which is really, really good. And then the next tier at 15. So if you get a new guy and he's got 20 mortarmen on his first slot there, and they're not going to come out for like about 2 minutes or something like that, then obviously that's where you'd guide him, and that's why I'm looking at these screens. The fact you've got Humvees there, absolutely superb. I'm also trying to get people, once they've got the Humvee IFV and got it to say I mean, you know yourself, you can build them, can't you, 100k a shot. Whereas if you've got the normal Humvee, you're using all your crits. So what I try and get people onto the Humvee IVF as soon as possible, and then use the crits for upgrading. And that way, obviously, they can get them to a higher level and then swap back, because you can get far more of the normal Humvee in your troops, as you're probably aware. Fantastic, you've got the M270 already in there, and your Abrams level 10, so that's really, really good. So you're really, really strong there, my friend, and that's what I'm looking for, really. I mean, I'm just looking for clues and things. Again, you've got your defence set up, absolutely fantastic. You know, one tank coming out 14 seconds, and so on and so forth. If you have, obviously, people are putting Zeus in those now as well, and use that as anti-aircraft and things along that sort of line. So I'm looking at that screen to see what advice I can give. I'm also looking at what I haven't got on your screen, by the way, is your platoon. So I'd obviously get the platoon from the guys there, and what you're looking for there with a platoon, if they've got like 10 tanks and one S13 at the end of it, they're trying to obviously just smash the way through. There's no skill, there's no tactics involved in any way, shape or form, and again, that's what these screens are here for, to look at that and sort of get a measure of the guys, really. Obviously your XP tells you how much you've got to play with, and the rest of it's just trying to get a background on the player. Yes, you have to make a few assumptions and things along that sort of line, but ultimately that's what you're looking for. You're trying to guide your guys. So that's the first reason I take these screens there, and I use that as a kind of a thought process. And then the next thing I would do is I would obviously leave the alliance or get them to, and then I would scout the base. And at that point, what I would do, as I'm scouting the base, I'd look at this screen, and I have this app that I'm using now. I'd look at this screen, and obviously I'd get them some tips from that, and then I'd move on to the base, and I'd be looking for weaknesses and things like that, things that can improve. You'd be amazed at what you see, mate. You know what I mean, with people's what people assume is a good base. And you're really there just to guide them, take a little bit of sort of a bit of control, I guess, just sort of point them in the right direction, because obviously they're your privates, really, aren't they? So what I'll do, mate, I mean, I wouldn't normally send my privates to this video. This is more to help you, and hopefully you'll be comfortable to make your own, but this is why I asked for that information. If you noticed, I pinned very early on as well what your level was, what your defence was, and what your attack was. And then I've got a benchmark in the pinned messages, so at any point I can go back, click on pinned, and then I've got obviously a date and what have you, and you can keep adding to that, and then obviously you've got a running sort of guide on where people were without obviously trawling through all your messages. And also, if you want to use that as, I mean, if you had to reprimand somebody, you've not been active on Discord, put it in that little note, you know what I mean? If you want them to aim towards CC 5 or 6 or whatever it might be, put it in that there, and if you want them to aim for a particular vehicle in the event, pin it in those messages, my mate, and then obviously you've got a far better structure. Now, obviously the document, if you will, I've kind of well, not document, but the written element that I've sent you there. I mean, if you want to copy and paste that and change the wording, whatever you want to do to make it yourself, but do put that into some sort of notes on your device, and then you can copy and paste it back to your Recruit, because I tend to find I was typing it over and over and over again. And I know it's a bit of a shortcut, but hey, you know what I mean, we've got a lot of people. Once you've obviously got all this work done, it's just then keeping on top and checking again and going back and just make sure the guys are developing. Gets easier, but the initial bit is obviously quite a bit of work to do. So that's where I'm at, bro. I'm hoping you can take this on board. I know you will do, because I can tell just by the type of person you are that you're all for it. So I really appreciate your support. I'll send this over to you, bud. Thanks.